You and I are full of issues which need paying attention. These issues are in 3 categories. 1. Self. 2. Others. 3. God. Let us understand these issues in self. The first issue is self. Self manifests itself in the following ways, like pride. Pride is a high or inordinate opinion of one's own dignity, importance, merit, or superiority, whether is cherished in the mind or is displayed in conduct. Whether craving compliments, fearing our own image, or entertaining an overly critical view of ourselves, pride can be both glaringly obvious and deceptively sneaky. Proverbs 8 verse 13. To fear the Lord is to hate evil. I hate pride and arrogance, even behavior and perverse speech. 1 Samuel 2 verse 3. Talk no more so exceedingly proudly. Let not arrogancy come out of your mouth, for the Lord is a God of knowledge, and by him actions are weighed. Prayerlessness. It is a sin not to pray because prayerlessness leaves the door open for all other sins. It was John Bunyan who said, "Prayer will make a man cease from sin, as sin will entice a man to cease from prayer." Someone else has said, for the Christian, prayerlessness is identical with backsliding. Self-righteousness. Romans 10 verses 2-4. For I bear them record that they have a zeal of God, but not according to knowledge. For they are being ignorant of God's righteousness, and going about to establish their own righteousness, have not submitted themselves unto the righteousness of God. For Christ is the end of the law for righteousness to everyone that believeth. You and I have to be obedient to the Word of God. It is the Word of God that matters. Self-righteousness is your opinion, choice, and will that do not align with the Word of God. Successful Christianity takes away your choices and lays up God's choices before you. It is not what society says that you need to follow. The fabric and conviction of a failed society does not render the Word of God obsolete, but rather true and divine. 2 Timothy 3 verses 5-7 very well defines self-righteousness as having a form of godliness but denying the power thereof. From such turn away. For of this sort are they which creep into houses and lead captive silly women laden with sins, led away with divers lusts, ever learning, and never able to come to the knowledge of the truth. Come to the knowledge of the truth, and do away with the self-ego. Habakkuk 2 verse 14. But the time is coming when the earth shall be filled with the knowledge of the glory of the Lord, as the waters cover the sea. But for this to happen, one has got to offload issues to make room for the knowledge of God. You and I are full of issues which need paying attention. Issue number 2 is others. Genesis 3 verse 12. Adam, pointing at the woman, "It was she, the woman you gave me as a companion, put the fruit in my hands, and I ate it." You are responsible for your faith, pandemic or no pandemic. God in His love is reaching out to you all the time via the social media platforms, Zoom, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. But you blame others for your selfishness and arrogancy. Manage your time and have time for the Lord. You must take responsibility for presenting yourself to hear the word. Salvation is any individual choice. Do not be like Adam pointing at Eve. Adam was aware of God's desire and instruction concerning the forbidden fruit, but chose to disobey God and to blame Eve. Stop pointing at others for your disobedience and failures. Change how you view your circumstances. Your salvation is a personal responsibility to maintain it. Backsliding is your fault. Prayerlessness is your fault, and not anybody else's fault. Habakkuk 2 verse 14. But the time is coming when the earth shall be filled with the knowledge of the glory of the Lord, as the waters cover the sea. But for this to happen, one has got to offload issues to make room for the knowledge of God. You and I are full of issues which need paying attention. Issue number 3 is God. how we see and view God. The picture of God in your life. Do you believe He will accept all of your excuses for not giving Him time? Numbers 23 verse 19. God is not a man. He doesn't lie. God is not the son of a man to want to take back what He's said, or say something and not follow through, or not speak and act on it. He is not human. We can lie to humans, not to God. We can deceive humans, but not God. We cannot change God's terms of salvation to suit ourselves. Solution. Joshua 24:15. If you decide that you are not willing to serve Him, then today is the day for you to choose whom you will serve, whether the gods your ancestors bowed to in the land beyond the great river, or the God of the Amorites whose country you possess. But for me and my family, we will serve the Eternal. The choice is up to you. God's voice is ever in the garden and in our lives. Self is hindering you, and not others. Your situation is about you and not others. John 5 verses 5-7. Now there was a man who had been disabled for 38 years lying among the multitude of the sick. When Jesus saw him lying there, He knew that the man had been crippled for a long time. So Jesus said to him, "Do you truly long to be healed?" The sick man answered Him, "Sir, there is no way I can get healed, for I have no one who will lower me into the water when the angel comes. As soon as I try to crawl to the edge of the pool, someone else jumps in ahead of me." The man points fingers at others. His healing came through the day he took personal responsibility. Your failure to keep a job has nothing to do with your boss. It all has to do with your character and irresponsibility. What does knowledge tell us? Psalm 1 verses 1-4. What delight comes to the one who follows God's ways? He won't walk in step with the wicked, nor share the sinner's way, nor be found sitting in the scorner's seat. His passion is to remain true to the word of I am, meditating day and night on the true revelation of light. He will be standing firm like a flourishing tree planted by God's design, deeply rooted by the brooks of bliss, bearing fruit in every season of life. He is never dry, never fainting, ever blessed, ever prosperous. But how different are the wicked? They are like chaff blown away by the wind. Your failure to stay and keep that marriage has nothing to do with your ex. Check yourself. Check your attitude, the rants, the temper, the I just don't care attitude. What does the knowledge of God tell us? Proverbs 21:9. It's better to live all alone in a rickety shack than to share a castle with a crabby spouse. Habakkuk 2, verse 14. But the time is coming when the earth shall be filled with the knowledge of the glory of the Lord as the waters cover the sea. Make room for the knowledge of God. God bless you.